Captain's Log, Day 7. We have finally arrived at South Minerva Reef after sailing 1,000 miles from New Zealand.
Feels like we're getting closer to Fiji. This is nice.
The crew are in high spirits now.
We've had this on a bucket list for 5 years and we're here.
But several of us fell victim to seasickness for the first few days.
I can feel myself starting to get queasy halfway through.
The Minerva Reefs are submerged atolls in the middle of nowhere, which will provide shelter for us as we wait out some bad weather over the next few days. We hope to be leaving for Fiji on Saturday, but we will see what the weather has in store for us.
Look how blue the water is. Insane.
Beautiful, eh?
So nice.
So blue.
It's a once in a lifetime chance to see something like that in the middle of nowhere.
We made it. Such a cool crew. We just keep picking the most incredible people to do this with because they just so full of energy, and this is all new to them, and it's exciting, and it makes it exciting for us, and it makes it a pleasure for us to do this with them, you know. But yeah, that was not easy. Those first few days were tough. We had Louis seasick for 2 days straight. I got a bit sick trying to edit there for a while. Everyone was struggling. It wasn't easy. And then the last day and a half has just been motoring. So definitely not ideal. The reef in this atoll is just slightly lower than North Minerva. So the swell comes over. And if 2 meters of that is getting through to the anchorage, it's going to be really uncomfortable. But it's better to be there than out there halfway to Fiji and just get smashed. It's 4 meter swell at 8 seconds. So it's just going to be these steep, choppy, big waves. So I think this is the right decision.
Minerva Reef is a hidden gem that radiates an untouched beauty rarely seen these days. Enveloped by crystal clear waters, coral gardens stretch endlessly beneath the surface, home to a rich variety of marine life. The serenity here is unparalleled, a peaceful reminder of nature's pure and unspoiled majesty, far removed from the clamour of the modern world. But as most people living off the land do, we turned our attention to finding some dinner for the crew, in the form of fresh Minerva lobsters. We only spotted one lobster, or crayfish as we call them in New Zealand, tucked deep inside a hole in the reef, and managed to get it out after a long wrestle, but it was definitely not going to feed the crew of 8. We decided to change tactic and see if we would have any more luck going spearfishing in deeper waters, so off we went. We have to be very selective when fishing in the tropics because there is a disease called ciguatera which will have a major effect on your nervous system if digested. On top of that, the reef sharks were coming in hot and heavy, so even getting the fish into the dinghy was a huge challenge.
Nice.
We were hunting in around 15 to 20 meters of water, and of course not every shot was a success, but we managed to get enough to feed the family anyway.
This Aussie fella shot the job fish.
How did it go down?
Wow, there's a few sharks around, and Jamie shot the fish, and he basically dropped the gun and hit the surface. Straight into the dinghy.
I wasn't stuffing around. It was pulling hard and I was going like for it. And I was thinking, I'm just waiting for a shark because I was in the dinghy. I couldn't see if one was going to hit it. I was just like...
He was in the dinghy before he even knew if it hit. That's so funny, man. Okay, South Minerva. It's been fun, but we're going to move to North Minerva now. There's a 4 meter swell coming, like we said, so this place is going to get really, really choppy. So 2 other boats have already left. We're next. Oh, and our neighbours who just left, they lost their rudder coming here. So we lent them some vernier calipers so that they could take some measurements of the shaft, and they're getting a new one made in Auckland. But yeah, so we helped them out a little bit. So they brought over some yellowfin tuna and wahoo. So that's it right there, going into our stomachs in about 10 minutes. This is actually the first time we've tested the Maxwell windlass that we installed in Whangarei. Remember, this is 1200 watts. The old one was 1700 watts, but Maxwell have guaranteed me that it'll perform just as well as the quick. If it does, that's a massive power savings. That's 500 watts, because sometimes it takes 20 minutes to get the chain out. I've got 253 feet of chain out right now, and it's 60 feet deep, so like almost 20 meters. So we'll see how she handles. This is the first time. Well, that is a massive wind. You should never do this, but we let the windlass pull the boat forward. I just wanted to test it, so I haven't even put these in gear at all. And it just pulled the boat forward. There's no wind right now, but I would say that this feels more powerful than the 1700 watt quick one. I don't know if it's the way the gears are or whatever, but that is a massive wind. That thing was epic. 45 kilo anchor and 1/2 inch chain, and it just pulled it up like it was nothing. Stoked. Just had a crazy idea to try foil into Minerva Reef, but I've never tried to do it in like swell like this. Looks fun.
Colin's call for help. Oh! And now we're all set, so we won't hear you when you call for help.
I've done this maybe 10 times. That's not a lot. I'm not good enough to be doing this.
My second workout today. We're packing Colin a little Ziploc baggie of his passport and one snack, some crackers, in case he makes it all the way to Fiji before us.
We're in the road,
Damn.
Gone. No, I'm not still there. It's been sharp.
This is my rations.
Yeah, it's a passport and a cracker.
I might eat that before I even get in. There.
Yeah.
I thought this was the line.
No. That's the leader of the lure.
Lure's gone. What? I peeled it off.
Shark. Or a wahoo.
Oh!
Look at him. Can we slow down? Yay!
Oh, the big stuff. I wonder if that was the big yellowfin that took our lure like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. What am I doing?
It's gonna be good content.
I reckon you need a bit of practice first.
Despite my best efforts, I was unable to foil upwind to get through the pass. I could see it just ahead of me, but the swell and wind angle were just too tricky for me to overcome. My mission of foiling through the pass at Minerva Reef had failed. As if to rub salt in my wounds, we arrived at the anchorage to a group of foilers who made it look easy. But anyway, it was awesome to find a whole group of sailors waiting out this weather, as well as some familiar faces. But Jamie had one thing on his mind.
Jamie, what a time to ask somebody something.
He's been kiting up there where the reef drops down, so
You couldn't pick a better time
trying
to
to ask him about the current. Is the current good up there for lobstering?
I think it's okay.
Okay?
Yeah, much better than this morning.
Okay, sweet. That's all I need to know. Happy kiting!
Nice. Good job. And then you can
Suck your stomach. Something like that.
And then what happens?
It stretches all your insides.
Take care of it.
Yeah. Stretching the heart to make it bigger.
Get more love in your life, eh?
So Loverboy led the charge out to a spot we knew normally had some lobsters under it. But by the time we got there, the current was absolutely flying over the reef, so it was no easy feat pulling dinner out from under the reef. But through sheer determination, we came out on top. But not without a few bumps and bruises.
We found this one, the big rock, and then behind it we could get at it both ways. We just started ripping them out of there.
Two hands on that one.
Yeah.
Did you get attacked by a crayfish?
Yeah, terrible. Look at that. Colin,
yeah.
mine.
Oh gosh, Louis, yours are bad.
I feel like I've played a game of rugby. Nah, just they were in a tight spot. They were in this one crack, and it was a challenge. So we were rubbing up against all the rocks and the current, and well, yeah, successful though. It's good. How cool!
Pulled out the babies.
Yeah, the boys.
Good morning, this is Minerva Reef Radio. How are you today? There's a really big potluck starting on one of the party vessels here, and you all know which boat it is. There's only one big party vessel, and that's Parlay Revival. You're all welcome in this big potluck, but bring your own beers, bring your own food, share with each other, and we have a lot of fun.
Okay, so we're hanging out here in Minerva Reef, and we have, for some reason, invited all of the boats here to a potluck dinner. So there's about 20 boats anchored here at the moment, so we'll see who turns up. So we caught some lobsters this morning. That was a really good session. Caught out some paua that we grabbed in Stewart Island in New Zealand, and some other bits and pieces. So with 20 boats, there's just been people foiling and kite surfing and everything the whole time. So it's been real fun to be here. We got Blue Barrel here. We did an episode about them losing their rig, crossing the Pacific. Avalon here, that's Andy. We've done multiple regattas with him around the Pacific. We've got Vicky Moore down there. She is the one who organises the Pacific Rally. So a lot of these boats are on her rally. So real communal vibes in here. Crazy that this is even a thing. All anchored in the middle of the Pacific. Unreal.
It was an awesome day with a nice sunny weather and a beautiful breeze, and we are all here together, and I think it's wonderful to be with so many sailors that are in the middle of the Pacific between New Zealand and Fiji together, enjoying life to the max. It's wonderful.
Yep, it was pretty surreal to be having a boat party in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's hard to describe the camaraderie you feel when hanging out with other sailors, all on a similar mission to yourselves. Sailing offshore from New Zealand is not to be taken lightly, and to end up here, which is obviously only accessible by boat, requires some form of celebration. There is no land on Minerva Reef, which means there is nowhere for people to mingle other than on boats, so that's why we volunteered Parlay to be the bar Minerva for the evening, and the party continued long into the night.
We have the, I think it's the Tongan Navy just turned up to Minerva Reef. Apparently they do come here every now and again. I think they're just going to check our passports and see how many people are on board and keep going.
Did you guys catch any fish?
No, no fish. No fish. Probably later, routine checking, which we do every now and then.
Yeah.
So I'm just our shopping territorial water. So
No worries, thank you. It's beautiful.
Yeah, no worries.
That's the Tongan Navy. We are part of the sort of their territory here, even though we're 300 miles away. But heard some really sad news the other day. Our friends on a boat called Thursday's Child ended up losing their boat in Fiji. We first met them in La Cruz in Mexico. We've sort of just been in the same area all the way down to New Zealand. We just saw them in Opua before we left. They apparently, we're sort of not trying to message them too much because just give them time to sort of deal with it. But apparently on Navionics there was a reef, but when you're zoomed out, it doesn't show the reef. So when you zoom in, it has this reef pop up, and they were unaware of it, and they just sailed straight up over it. And then our other friends on second set, a catamaran, have taken them on board, and they're trying to salvage as much stuff as they can. So super sad. I hope they got insurance. I've just emailed my insurance company, telling them our destinations for the next year, just to make sure that we're covered. So very sad. But anyway, we're going to leave Minerva Reef. It's been an awesome time here. Lots of wing foiling and going for lobsters, and had an awesome party last night with all the boats. I didn't think that many people were going to turn up, but I'm going to try redeem myself and foil out of the pass. Next stop, Fiji.
I really love South Minerva Reef and diving on the reef there and swimming with sharks for the first time. And here has been really adventurous, going for crays right up by the reef with the waves pouring over and the current. And so yeah, and otherwise just sitting here at anchor while there's 3-meter swells out there. It's been an amazing rest, really.
Leaving without Capitan!
Amazing experience, loved it. I think a lot of people did. It was heaps of foiling going on, diving, but really great experience. First time there, and really loved it.
That was amazing. It's so cool to be here, but I'm really looking forward for Fiji and hopefully a good surf.
I just wound in the jib because he was behind us, and then he started catching up, so I'll put it back out.
All right, there's Colin. He's up, he's foiling. We're gonna go through this pass all together. Ideally, if we could go at the same speed through the pass, that'd be a really cool shot.
After much determination, I foiled 4 kilometers across the length of Minerva Reef and out of the pass. It wasn't only me doing something for the first time through the pass of an atoll. Georgie also helmed the boat for the first time through the channel, which would have been pretty scary, I'd imagine.
Just drove through the pass. My legs have gone numb, and that was really scary.
Should we go pick up our captain or sail to Fiji without him?
Just keep going. He can meet us there.
Holy that was so tiring. It wasn't worth it.
Good job. That's sick.
Yeah.
Our time in Minerva Reef has come to an end. What an incredible place. Another one of Mother Nature's wonders, creating a safe haven as we sail to and from New Zealand. The next leg is 400 miles to Fiji, and we are expecting some really messy conditions, but nowhere near as bad as what we would have gone through if we weren't able to take shelter at Minerva Reef.
Paula just pulled this out of her room on the last day. There's some good willpower, my God.
Holding out on them. Oh, I'm just bringing out my treats for you guys for the last day.
Big fella.
Jamie, I don't eat chocolate.
We've all been sharing our snacks on the passage. We normally do, but this morning, Paula stocked up the fridge with this bad boy.
It's as happy as we've seen Louis the whole trip. I've been so disciplined.
How's this swell been for the last day and a half?
So this is the most bridge slam I've ever seen. Like last night and the night before, the boat's just bang, bang. Like everything's been rattling, falling everywhere. Oh, last night I was sleeping on the couch and there's all cans under the seat, and I was asleep next to it. Donk, donk, donk. So that was donk, donk, and then we had a wind charm thing hanging up there, and then about 3 o'clock it was ting, 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 and I was like, oh my God. It was a nightmare, but yes, the boat has been just bang and all vibration just through the whole thing. But the swell's not too big, it's just really messy and coming from all directions. But yeah, it's been wild, but we are 140 miles out of Fiji.
Have you ever heard a sound like that before?
No, never. Actually, I'm surprised I sleep with it because I'm quite a light sleeper, but
I've been sleeping pretty good between the watches, but last night I didn't really get too much sleep. It's just, a lot of banging. The sea's pretty sloppy at the moment, so a lot of rocking, rolling, banging. And
Answer honestly. Honestly? Yeah, don't hold back. Don't feel like you gotta hold back. How has the last 2 days been on this boat?
It's been ugly. It's been so loud. Like just banging and creaking. So when you're down in the cabin, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like the boat's about to fall apart. And then you come up here and it's chill.
I can sleep in every condition, always, at any time. But this last 3 days have probably been the worst if it comes to sleep, because it's so noisy and it's ugly and it's like, nope. Really don't know. I need some champagne sailing, because otherwise I'm maybe gonna quit.
This is like tequila sailing. Or
No, I do like tequila. We need something else.
It's Jägermeister sailing at the moment.
No, this is like Smirnoff sailing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Smirnoff ice sailing. There you go.
Sitting here doing a little handover. Just finished my watch, and I was like, yeah, there's a bit of cloud in the distance, no squalls. I look ahead, and I see land. We can see Fiji. Must have just popped. It's really hazy, but it must have just sort of cleared up a little bit. First sight of Fiji. Woo!
I know.
It's hilarious because it's like a legit massive mountain as well. But it's cool. First time across an ocean. First time I've seen land after 12 days, I think.
Whole new country we've just sailed to. When we came out of Mexico, we headed towards Socorro and those islands, but we had to go into the wind for a while and it was horrible. But the chosen one was in that cabin and he described it, and we did an animation of it. He described it as being in a 44-gallon drum, getting bounced up and down on the trampoline and someone whacking it with a 2x4. And that's what it's felt like for the last few days. It's been really horrible. The bridge slams underneath, between the two hulls, have just been thunderous. It's just shocking how much this boat slams. It's all starting to slowly calm down now.
There you go, guys. We have almost made it to Fiji.
That's it. No more open ocean.
Thanks for watching, and tune in next Sunday at 8 AM Eastern Standard Time as usual. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new here.
Unreal. What a welcome. No other country would you get that.
My eyes, my goodness, that was just so emotional. It was incredible.